Hello, welcome to Long Island Weather Report. It's 10 o'clock on October 30th, 2024, as we get ready for things to heat up even more than they did today. And you can see this is a satellite image from earlier today. You can see haze, just a sign of the kind of air mass that we have coming in. I'll put the satellite loop into motion. You can see a lot of jet junk in there, and just really icky air out there, and it's going to get ickier as we head into tomorrow as this warm air surges in. You can see right here. Just show you a look at the Kona satellite view so you get an idea of that as well. We'll go over to here. I got to now back it up because the sun sets earlier. But you can see the arc here. That's your ridge right there. You have severe thunderstorms in the Midwest. And why is my computer just deciding to do that? So it was a pretty warm day today. So let's go take a look at what our high was at Islip. Got up to 70 degrees. That's not too bad. But that's still 11 degrees above normal for the high. A low of only 55 put us 12 degrees above normal for the day. And so far, month to date, only 0.12, which is probably on record for the driest month. We'll have to see how that pans out at the end of the month. But I think we'll have the driest month on record at almost every single climate reporting site that we have available. Let's look at our current conditions out there. And you can see temperatures 61 degrees, and it's humid too. Dew points up around 58. And no radiation, no cooling tonight. Pine Barrens kind of staying in the 50s and upper 50s in Jersey, and 61 at West Hampton. So let's look at our highs for the day. And highs, got up to around 70 on Long Island, though. As you head into the western parts of Long Island, like where I'm at, we had more like mid-70s. South Shore was in the upper 60s, and same thing for the Forks. And then as you headed towards Central Park, got up to 75. LaGuardia got up to 79. Kennedy, JFK, 75. So as you're further west, you had warmer temperatures. And, of course, Jersey probably got up to 80 degrees. Let's wait for this to load here, and probably will show us here in a moment. This site loves to just get stuck. Seriously. Yeah, 81 in Toms River. Not surprising. So Jersey got to around 80, which means they're going to have no problem getting well into the 80s tomorrow. Just crazy kind of heat across the area. I'm wondering if there were any records broken today in our area. So we're going to actually go over here, and we'll go to the Newark. Probably be the Newark one that might be most likely to break a record. Let's see. 79. Now, just a couple degrees away from the record high of 82. They might break it tomorrow, possibly. So, looking at our current, and you can see again, just if we take this out here and look at the highs here across the area, you'll see all the heat that is dominating here in the east. And you can see here's your cold front, and then behind it, you got these frost and freeze warnings. This is the next cold front here. That's mainly going to affect the plains, and we'll get into some relief from the heat, but it will be short-lived. I'm not going to discuss next week, and just discussing the rest of this week in this video here. So you can see lows, not really that low, mid-50s. Somehow, it got down to 44 in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. The thing about Toms River is it's hot, but it does cool off at night. I can't say that for central Nassau, at least not where I live. Speaking of that, look at the temperature of the alley. Yeah, it's still holding on around 67 degrees, 66 degrees it looks like in the alley. Definitely a lot warmer. Showing you what the sky was like. The sunset, though, is pretty cool. This is the sunset tonight. Very pinkish. And then ground fog was seen tonight as well. This is in Garden City. So you're going to get that when it's have a little bit of moisture in the air and humidity, but there's no the ground is very dry, but you're still getting the air in these open areas where the wind calm is dropping down to where the dew point is. So you could see some patchy fog in some areas tonight because of that. So looking and panning out, you could see we have severe weather going on it looks like a number of severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado watches too. It's unusual to talk about that in late October, isn't that? It most certainly is unusual. Let's look at the radar for the nation. So kind of unusual to see severe weather. Oh yeah, there's a pretty decent line here that has developed here. So yeah, this is a decent line here. Look at that. Wow. Oklahoma City looks like they're about to get nailed. Again, when you have all this warmth, that's exactly what happens. See, probably a lot of lightning going off too in these storms as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, plenty of lightning. Look at that. Wow. Very unusual for October to see that. Really, really unusual. But if you're hoping we're going to see any rain from that, I hate to tell you, we're not. Most likely going to see any rain from that. So let's go to the models now, and you see you got this big ridge in place here. There's that low and that cold front where the severe weather is. As we wind our way through our last day of October, Halloween, we're in the peak of that heat there. You can see those isobars, and it'll be somewhat breezy with a southwest wind tomorrow. I'm hoping it'll be enough to have a sea breeze on Long Island, but everywhere else that's not on the South Shore is going to be pretty hot. And then for Friday, you see what happens to this front. It just kind of moves through dry. Yeah. So that means that we're not going to see any rain from that. So the dryness continues, unfortunately. That's what it's looking like right now. So we'll look at some of the more shorter range models, the HRRR model. Show you the zeros, the HRRR, show you what happens to this cold front here. Just, poof. Yeah, it just pretty much falls apart. Maybe a sprinkle with it. Maybe a sprinkle Friday morning. It's going to be barely anything. I'm telling you that right now. But notice the isobars. Notice, first of all, the direction they're in, which favors the heat, but also the fact they're close together. And that means that we're going to be dealing with wind. And that's the concern, that we're going to have to deal with another red flag warning. Right now, what's saving us is the air is humid, so that is saving us. But you see, as we head into tomorrow, the dew points maybe drop a little bit with that more westerly flow. So it'll be hotter, slightly less humid, and the sea breezes. There will be a sea breeze on the South Shore, and maybe Suffolk County, but the further west you are, the less likely you're going to feel that effect. And obviously, when you do get that sea breeze, the temperatures will drop, the humidity will rise, which would help mitigate any fire danger. But with those hotter, drier winds off the land, especially if you're in Jersey, that's going to be a problem. And then we can watch our cold front come through here Friday morning. You can see just how tight those isobars are. I mean, and the wind barbs too as well. There's going to be some decent wind with that. And then here we are, the cold front comes through, and then for the rest of Friday, as we get into the afternoon, the dew points drop, and it gets a lot drier. But the wind will still be up, and it will still be warm. It's not cool air is going to lag until we get till Saturday. So as far as tonight goes, not really going to cool off very much, probably around 60, maybe some 50s in the cooler areas. And then tomorrow, it's going to be hot. Probably record-breaking heat tomorrow. Probably going to see temperatures probably in the mid-80s in New Jersey and around 80, perhaps low 80s, western Long Island, and the South Shore will have 70s. You got to be right on the South Shore for that, though. I think a lot of places on Long Island are going to get up to 80 before the sea breeze comes in. And then, again, in the afternoon, it will cool off on the South Shore, but it'll still be roasting inland. And then, obviously, temperatures tomorrow night, they don't get below the mid-60s. Tomorrow night's going to be very warm. And then that sets the stage for another warm day on Friday with lowering humidity, but the temperatures will still soar, mid to upper 70s, perhaps close to 80 degrees again. So, yeah, very warm, and obviously with not much precipitation here. Let's go see how much rainfall this is giving us. Basically nothing. There's going to be red flag conditions, I think, Friday. I think that a red flag warning will probably be issued for Friday. I would be very surprised if one was not issued for Friday, given the setup that we have here. We can look at some other models, but I honestly I don't really think we're going to see much rain with this. I really don't. That's definitely a concern that we're going to have. So let's look at the skies. I'll just go to the RGM for the skies here just to show you what we're going to be dealing with our skies. The 18Z is not fully in yet. Okay. We're going to have to go to the 12Z. I don't know. There's some delays on some of these models. I don't know what's going on. Tomorrow, similar look to the skies today. There'll be sunshine. There'll be some haze and jet junk in there. Not really very good air quality. And then heading into Friday, we start with clouds, and then as we get toward the afternoon, the clouds clear up and it becomes mostly sunny. And then as we head into Saturday, just to give you a peek at Saturday, it looks like a nice sunny day with cooler temperatures. But I'm going to talk more about that on by probably Friday night, probably. Speaking of smoke, let's see what the smoke model has, because I think there was some smoke around today. It definitely seemed hazy, so let's see what we got here. Yeah, there is some smoke. Yeah, it's not thick smoke, but there's a little bit of it around, creating some haze in the air. No surprise. Um, yeah, it's not going to clear out of here until we get that front through. So the air quality definitely questionable. And again, any wildfires that develop locally could impact that. Given the conditions that we have, it's a really, very concerning, to say the least, with this. And we're going to go over those winds. I'm going to go to Ventu Sky now, and we'll look at the winds here. Wind gusts tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, there are going to be some... The winds aren't too bad tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's too bad tomorrow. You see it is showing a southerly flow, so there should be a south sea breeze, but you got to be on the south shore to get it. If you're inland, you're going to be near 80 degrees. This is 2 o'clock, all right? Looking at Friday, that's more my day of concern. With this front, that's going to really pick the winds up quite a bit. And with the humidity dropping, you can see wind gusts, 32, 30, 35. And we may even need a wind advisory for Friday as well. So wind advisory, red flag warning. I think Friday is a day that we have a very high wildfire risk. I think that's one of the worst days we've seen yet. Because we're not going to get any rain with that front. And with that front coming through dry and then the winds picking up with behind the front, this is going to make for very bad red flag conditions for Friday. So that is the alert. So think of it like this. We get the brutal heat tomorrow, and then Friday we get to deal with the red flag warnings. So that's going to wrap up this weather report. Have a good night, and happy Halloween. This climate crisis sure is scary.